You have behind me the new data center of ECMWF. This is our factory. It's where we produce our daily forecast that we send to our member state. You will see inside later all our supercomputer and our archiving system. Maybe a bit of history before we go in. So this is an old manufactory of tobacco located on the technopole of Bologna. We are the first operational site on the technopole, and as you can see around, there is still a lot of work going on. You have three BOTI for the data center of ECMWF, and this BOTI were in the past the tobacco manufacturing. On this side, there is only one new building, which is this one, where we have all the cooling element in order to freeze our, in order to cool our system. So now we will enter into the building, into the main hall. We will have a quick look at our operation center. It has to be quick because we are running operations since mid-October and the people are working there. And then we will enter into the center of the data center where we have our supercomputer and our archiving system, which is one of the biggest archive of meteorological data in the world. So let's go. So we are now at the heart of the data center. So this is the common area where we have meeting room. On this side, you will see the operation center. We have 2 persons working here on a 24-hour basis, and they are following the forecast to be sure that we can deliver all our product to our member states. So they have these 2 big screens, which give us a clear view of how the system are running and the state of the different elements. As I told you outside, this data center is really new. The project started in 2018, and the idea is to move all the operational activities that we had in Reading here in Bologna. It took almost 3 years just to refurbish the data center, to refurbish the old manufactory in order to have something which will fit for operational activity. What we did is obviously to restore everything, but also to build these boxes. Those are anti-seismic, and we have all our supercomputer and all our data inside these boxes. The refurbishment of the infrastructure finished in 2021, and since June 2021, we have been installing all the ICT equipment in order to be able to move our forecast delivery service in Bologna. And this operation took almost 18 months in order to install all the elements here and to be able to run our operational system. And now, as mentioned, we are operational since the 18th of October. So let's move. We'll go at the other side of the building in order to enter into the computing hall. You have 2 different boxes. This one, which is dedicated to storage, and this one, which is dedicated to computing. So our supercomputer is in this one, and our archive system is in this one. And those elements are duplicated in the next BOTI. So if you look at the other side of the wall there, you will have exactly the same box with the same equipment inside. We will now enter into the computing hall. So in this room, you have half of our supercomputing facilities. The size of the room is 1,000 square meters, and I invite you to follow me. So, yeah, so what you can see here is the supercomputer of ECMWF. This one is dedicated to operation. We have the same one in another room, which is dedicated to research. In the event of problem, we can switch our operation on the research supercomputer. What you can see there are all the compute nodes. The 5 rows which are like that are the compute nodes. And at the end, the horizontal row is where we have the disk and the node to log onto the system. Behind me, you have around 4,000 nodes and 500,000 of CPU. On the other side, you have exactly the same configuration. Globally, you have 1 million of core CPU on this data center. So it's a bit noisy, so we will go quickly to see the system. All this space here, which seems empty, is essential for us, because when we change system and we change computer every 4 years, we need to have a space where we can install the new computer, test it, move our operational system, and ensure that we are ready for operation. This is because we never stop. We are operating on a 24-hour basis, so we need to be sure that the new system we install is fit for operation before dismantling the old one. Just a comment on this rack. What you can see there at the bottom is the cooling system. This system is cooled by water, and you have underneath a tube which bring cold water in order to cool all the CPU which are located on those blades, and then send hot water into the building. The cables there are fiber. You have kilometers of fiber going underneath in order to interconnect all the different elements, the million of CPU, and electricity comes from the ceiling. All these elements are the electricity which power the different racks. We try to be as energy efficient as possible. It's the reason why the majority of the servers, the ones that exchange a lot of heat, have a door which is a cool door. So if you look at this one, inside you have some fan in order to cool the system and in order to avoid that the heat is going within the data center. Okay, so you have there the library where we have the large majority of our data. 90% of our data are located on tape. The tape is what you can see there. It's like the old DVDs that you had in the past to watch film, but we are using them to store data. And in this library, you have a robot inside that can move and can fetch the tape on which are the data which have been requested by the user. Once the tape has been fetched, it will go into a reader, will be moved on the disk, which are located here, and then will go onto the supercomputer in order to be processed by our user. So let's go close to the tape to see the robot working. As you can see, there is a robot inside this library. He is moving. In fact, we have two of them, and he is getting the tape on request of user and putting the tape on reader, which are located at the center of the system. Each time a user will do a request, we have a huge database which is able to do the link between the data which are requested by the user and their location on the tape. So the database is located there. It will put a request on the library. Data will go on reader and will move on the disk there and then be processed. And we do that all the time on a 24-hour basis. This is the memory of ECMWF, the memory of the weather forecast.